Coach. Big weekend here. What are you going to look for in your team to beat?
Yeah. Every weekend's big, in the CCHA, right? Like, to me, it's all about. I don't look at the weekends as any different than the first weekend of the year we went to Mercyhurst, off it, and then we get into league play, and it's all about the process. We talk about that a lot with our group. It's about investing in the process, surrender to the outcome. Have you ever heard that? Like, it's just the outcome is the end result. At the end of the year, and for us, I just want to see us keep growing. I think we're playing some really good hockey, executing well, playing strong structurally. Obviously, the elephant in the room is we like to score more goals, and going into the last weekend, but both teams didn't really score many goals either. So it was good. I like our week of practice. We're feeling good. I think we're feeling confident. We're skating well, but again, we know we got a good tough test up there, so we're gonna have to be sharp.
You talked about scoring goals. I mean, last week, I think between Stover and the Augustana keeper, those are the top two, goalie save percentage in the country. How do you keep your guys confident? I mean, you scored some goals against Northern the last time around. Obviously keeping them confident going into the next week. Yeah. You face one of the toughest goalies.
Well, I think when you look at the big picture, it's like, where are you getting the opportunities? And we were getting the opportunities right off it. And sometimes, they fall in. It's, again, the old adage, your defense is like a dog. It's got to be loyal in there. Your offense is like a cat, right? It kind of comes and goes sometimes, and it does its own thing. But the big thing for me was, when I sat back and rewatched the game, is we had a lot of good opportunities. I'd be more concerned if we weren't getting to the inside and not getting those chances. Then it's a whole new kind of reset and structure. But we were getting good chances. Both goalies played phenomenal, I thought. I thought both teams played really good structure, really good defense, and obviously the scores kind of indicated that. And whenever there was a hiccup on other teams, on either team's defense, obviously their goalies, stood on their head. So I thought it was an entertaining weekend. As much as it was low scoring, 0-0 with a overtime goal and 1-1 with a shootout goal. I thought they were pretty entertaining, fast pace, good compete. But like I said to our guys, this week we did a good job. Monday skill set splits, worked on a lot of shooting, worked on a lot of changing angles, net front screens, and we put a lot of onus into skill sets and handling pucks. And then the next day was a lot of flow and pace and tempo. And today we get into special teams. So hopefully we kind of mixed it up a little bit this week and started thinking a little different. We did the power play on the opposite bench today instead of normally going to our bench. We went to the visitors bench, so maybe that gives us a little different outlook.
Coach, the fans this weekend were fantastic. What's it like as a coach to coach in front of the crowd like that? And also, how does it compare to the fans like when you played here at PG?
Yeah, it's great. So grateful and thankful for the students coming out, the town coming out to support, the area fans coming out to support our group. Like, it was awesome. It's something I always tell our players, we should never take that for granted. People always have choices every night to do something. They have a choice to come to maybe a hockey game or go to a movie or stay home with their family. And for the people that came out this weekend to support us, we're definitely have a lot of gratitude for the support. And then it's up to us to make sure we play an entertaining, sound, fun game to watch. Off it. And I think anybody that came this weekend, I hope enjoyed it, even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted. But when they get going, it's a low ceiling, right? Everyone knows it's about the height of this one we're in, almost, it feels like. And it's just when they're going, like, even me, like I was saying after the game, it's hard for me to talk sometimes on the bench. My voice doesn't travel well. I got a deep, raspy voice. And when I'm trying to, yell down to the end of the bench for a D-man and the band's going and the crowd's going, there's nobody can hear me, off it. So, but that's a good problem, and that's something that, we love to have. So definitely a huge advantage for us playing at home. Awesome playing in front of our great crowd, our great fans, our great support. And, we'll continue to do our best to put a product on the ice that they enjoy cheering on and supporting.
I just asked the players this. I want to hear your opinion. Do you have a favorite chant from the crowd?
Well, to be honest, I don't hear much. I hardly hear, like, it's funny. We were just talking about this as our staff. I hardly hear the band. I hardly hear chants. I never can hear the music. Like, I don't. and maybe that's just because my focus isn't on that, to be honest. Often as coaches, you're always during that time of chance, you're always thinking, what's the next line? What's the next play? Who are they changing? Often, and it's not just here. It's everywhere I've been. Often it's like it's when you get into a game and the puck drops, like this is the world I live in. Often, and you don't really get to hear much of the outside. But I know they're loud. Like I said, and but for me, again, my focus is on our players, and unfortunately, I hear a lot of noise out there, but I can never really decipher anything on them. Maybe I'm just getting old too now. I'm getting into my mid 40s, but I sometimes feel that way because I'm like, can everyone just be quiet for a sec so I can talk? And in my old days, I used to probably be able to yell down the bench a little louder. But it like I said, it's awesome though. And the students that came up to Fair State, on the bus there on the Saturday, like it was awesome to have them up there cheering for us. And disappointing that's the game we lost for them. Obviously, we wanted to deliver them a win, but again, just to see the support from everybody right now for hockey is really encouraging. And I know our players, again, we don't take it for granted, and we love the fact that they're out there to cheer us on.
Yeah, we're at the kind of part of the conference schedule where you're playing teams, for the second weekend. This is, obviously a return trip up to Northern. What are the things that Northern does well that are issues that you want to make sure that the team needs to take care of?
Well, they're a team that had a lot of turnover, a whole staff turnover and a lot of players. And what you're seeing is a team that is beginning to gel, and it takes time. And I think what a lot of people just expect instant results whenever there's a coaching change, but that's not the case. There's a whole new philosophy, and what you're seeing through Dave Shayak and his staff has done an unbelievable job. Is they're trajecting and building the right way right now. Their improvements are been greatly. They've gone into Bemidji and swept. In Bemidji, and we played them here to 2 overtime games, and so we know going in that we play to a standard, and that doesn't guarantee us a win. It just we want to play to a certain way. We want to have an identity. We want to be relentless on pucks. And if we do that, that's just going to maybe give us a chance, but it's not going to guarantee us a chance. And especially going up to a rink that's a little bit bigger in size, a little different dynamic, and a team that's playing really well right now. So it's going to be a really good challenge, a really good test for our group. And I know like what happened last weekend is we're able to learn from it, hit a hard reset on Monday, and our focus has solely been on our attitude, our compete, our play, and that's what our mindset is going into Friday. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a real challenge for us.
Any other questions for Coach?
As coaches, with playoffs only 5 weekends away, are you guys trying to think of potential playoff matchups? Or
No. I didn't even know it was 5 weekends away. I didn't even know what overtime was in playoffs. I just got to focus on this week, and a lot of people would probably, right? Or I'm not a standings guy, like I'm sure our players are, often. If you play a certain way, everything else takes care of itself, often. And to me, like I got asked the same question on Clint's show on Tuesday morning, how important these 6 points are. Well, everything's important. And the thing I always say to our guys, let's not play a weekend where we look back on at the end of the year and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go empty the tank. We have, as you said, I think 8 games left in regular season and then 1 exhibition, right? So, hey, like this group doesn't have much time together, and then you got playoffs right after, and they played together for a lot of years. So it's really important that, we just stick true to each other. We play for each other. I said from the beginning of the year, my philosophy coming in was I wasn't putting my focus just on next season, the year's out. I wanted to help this group of seniors and graduates win hockey games for them, and I think we're doing that here. And we got to stay true to that and stay focused to that. But in terms of playoffs right now, I'm guessing we could finish anywhere from first to last, depending on how the year still goes. So, and what I've learned quickly is if you try to predict and see, you have if you can predict the way the standings are going to finish right now, you can read in the future. Because I check every weekend, like box scores, split, overtime. I'm trying to figure out the whole point total still, on everything right now. Like I had my dad call me the other day. He's like, man, your standings, it's hard to read, and he's a little bit older, but he's like, I see wins, losses, shootout wins, shootout losses, overtime. So he's like, can we just get to 3 columns again? My dad's telling me. And I joked with him. I was like, I don't even know. I just look at the point totals, if I have to look. But it's exciting hockey, right? We're down to the wire. 8 games left for a lot of teams. Some might have a little bit more, but it definitely heightens the importance, the intensity, because everyone will be trying to obviously win as many of the games they can and jockey to get home ice. So it should be fun.
Does that, you talk about the stands, does that speak to the parity of the league? I feel like any given night someone could beat somebody.
Yeah, and if you look no further than our trip up to Ferris, right? I think at that time, I don't know where they were in the standings, and it doesn't. We knew going in it's a hard venue to play in. We beat them 5-4. Like everything's a 1-goal game. Like I always sit with our team, like, can we get some separation? Like it'd be nice on the bench. Like my Apple Watch is telling me to breathe, every second. But it's so hard, like every team is the parity, like you said, it can go either way. And it's even more important that you show up and get ready to play each and every night and break it down into periods. Don't worry about the full score. Like just let's break it down into different segments. But, and then like I say, we lose to Ferris and they go the next weekend and beat Mankato. And so it just goes to show that like anybody can beat anybody. No teams cannot be beat, is what I've seen. And we've played every team now. And again, we went to Mankato. We've played Tech here. We've gotten points in all those series, whether it be 1 or 2, off it. But it's hard to sweep in this league, and I think that's what makes the CCHA such an exciting league to follow right now, is that anybody can beat anybody.